The burning question you all have is which deck is better between Tearlament and Sprite. On the tier list, they are fighting for their spots in tier 1. You know, they're both kind of chilling there. We have 14 power level Sprite. 26% of the total tournament topping decks is Tearlament. This is climbing down. The Sprite's climbing up. Now you have both of them in the grand finale. This is it. Which deck is better? Hajime.
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
We're going to be opening up with our Sprite starter within the main phase, which could make you susceptible to a Veiler, which not many people are really playing. We're going to special summon our Jet. We don't really have good disruption here. Now, the Bystials are kind of disruptive if you want to be countering a Sprite Elf reborning the Blue or the Jet. Otherwise, we're going to be making the brand new Sprite Sprint, sending an Angler. When sent to the graveyard from the hand or deck, it will activate to summon 2 Nimbles from the deck, which is going to make our Gigantic Sprite. Gigantic Sprite is going to be met with a Baldrake banishing from the grave. Why is that? Well, the Baldrake states that if your opponent special summons a monster from the extra deck, you could target it, banish it, but only if you tribute another light or dark you control. So there's probably going to be a moment where we summon the Serenir before he goes into Elf. Maybe? I mean, does that really make sense? We're going to swap frogs, send a frog from the deck to the graveyard, Ronin Totem, banishing to come forth and summon. I think, you know, we want to save the Serenir to counter the Elf, not to really banish the Elf. And you kind of gave him a free use of a TTT, mate. Into Masquerena. We're now going to Ronin Totem, banish to come forth and Shokan. And now we're making Melfi Forest. Maybe you wanted to stop Melfi Forest, which actually could have been a decent idea here. Okay. Now, we are going to be special summoning the Caddy during the end phase. Let's try to evaluate this field. The new Double Cross, which a lot of Sprite players are not playing. It's a pretty cool card. If your opponent has a monster on the field or in the graveyard, you could take that monster and steal it. You could put it into one of your Exceed materials or to where your Link 2 is pointing to, which is nowhere. We can't do that. And we also have the Caddy, which could turn into a Herald of Arclight, which could be a negate, and sending any card from the deck or hand to the graveyard will be banished. That's a monster. Now, the Caddy does not go directly into the Herald of Arclight, so the Rhino Heart's going to actually be able to send a card from the deck to the graveyard. It will be able to activate before we get our Herald of Arclight out. But we could use the Double Cross to steal the Havness to stop the fusion. Now, Serenir could stop you from stealing my monster, which stops my fusion because I'm going to stop my own fusion anyway. And you're also going to draw 1 because of Maxi. Very good. Penny going into the Herald of Arclight right now. This is looking really bad for Tearlament if you don't know what's going on. This is the Omni Negate. Now, a very easy solution is it's 1,000 defense, just attack over it. Right? Problem. Masquerena is going to protect it, and you'll see why in a second. The Sprint is also doing another play. Sprint states if a monster is special summoned, you could detach an Exceed material to then spin that card back. Back to the hand you go. And as you're attempting to enter the battle phase, we're going to use the Masquerena to make untargetable, indestructible Avermax, which states you cannot attack any of my other monsters. Draw 2 instead of take control? That's crazy because this is untargetable, but we could yoink it with the TTT. We draw 2 instead. The Crime is completely dead if you don't control a Tearlament, otherwise it would be able to negate anything and return it back into the deck. We're going to Ash Negate, which could be negated by the Herald of Arclight, or just cross out Designate. Negate! We are getting clapped up as tier. I don't even know what is going on. Ash is negated. We are going to be summoning the Blue. Blue, I choose you. Get searching for the Jet. And you can't even max C, by the way, because Herald Arclight states that it would go banished, and the cost is it going to the grave. Boost up the attack of the Avermax, taking out the Serenir. Boost up the field. Lethal damage with the level 2 beatdown thanks to the Gamma Burst. Oh my. Quite the duel. All right, let's get to it. Reinforcement of the army, reinforcing our hand with a Rhino Heart on summon, send a Tearlament from the deck to the graveyard to get fusion summoning. No disruption in sight. We're going to fuse the Merly in the hand, returning the Merly, I should say the Havness and Merly back into the deck to make the Kit Cal on summon, searching our deck for a Tearlament card, which will be our Scream, because we already have a Merly in the hand. So with the Scream, we're going to be able to mill 5, 3, 3. That is 11 cards milled right here, right now. If you're milling 11, it's going to definitely be good if you're a tier limit deck. Now let's watch this graveyard get filled to the brim with cards that we have milled. Sharon, Rhinoheart, Kelbeck, Snow is going to be able to special summon flip a monster face down. We're going to mill an additional 5. Scream being sent to the graveyard is going to be searching for a trap. The trap will be a Sullia because we probably only play 1 Crime, which is now in the graveyard. And with less shufflers being in the game, we're not going to have a good way to return it back in the deck. But now we do have a shuffler in the grave, as we are now fusion summoning into a Kaleido Heart. We're turning 3 tier limits back in the deck to make it. Sprin is on summon, going to send a Merly from the deck to the graveyard to perform our 3rd and final fusion into Rukalos. Let's absorb this field real quick. If the opponent summons a monster, that will trigger our Scream to mill 3. If we get lucky, we mill a tier element to trigger a fusion, which could go into a Dragostapelli, which will be a monster negate. We also have Kaleido Heart. If an Aqua monster is sent to the graveyard, we could return a card in the field back in the deck. We have Sullik, which could negate a monster in the field permanently and could send the Kaleido to the graveyard, which could resummon it and then spin a card in the field back in the deck and trigger another fusion. Also, Rukalos can negate a special summon, which could also trigger the Kaleido Heart to summon and spin and then trigger a fusion summon. We also got an Ash on top of that. Good luck. Normal summon Angler. That is not a proper response for the situation you're in. We're going to have Fairy Tail Snow. On top of that, I actually forgot the Snow. Snow is here, flipping down the monster. You now can't special summon the Blue or the Jet. We're going to take control of the Sprind. Now it's Sprind, I can special summon Blue and Jet. Gamma Burst going to take out the Fairy Tail Snow first before we... oh, no. This ain't TCG, mate. The Blue states that you got to have a rank 2. The Jet states you got to have a rank 2. The carrot and the red is link 2. Level in link 2. It's not just a 2. It's got to be rank for the elf and the Jet. That is unfortunate. Oh my Jesus. Fairy Tail Snow is going to banish 7 from the graveyard to resummon itself back onto the field just to trigger the Scream, to then mill 3 to trigger the Kaleido and the Sharon to get fusion summoning, spinning the Angler back in the deck as the Sullik activates to search for a monster, which we have not performed a normal summon for yet. Be gone to the deck, Angler, but first we're going to make a Garura, which for some reason this thing punches for 3,000 damage at 1,500 attack. 3k to the face, hit him with the Kaleido, and finish him with the Rukalos. Oh my. Oh my. Yeah, red and carrot are level link. Elf and blue are level rank. Or Maxi, normal summon Maxi. Okay, so I think we're gonna summon the Swap Frog, return back to the hand. Yeah, interesting. Back to the hand after sending the Ronin Totem, then discard the Angler, and then Angler will summon 2 Nimbles. We got the Sprite Cross, which could stop a tier limit fusion. This will definitely add to our turn 1 plays. For every frog in the graveyard, we could banish with Ronin Totem. Shokan into the Elf. Elf could reborn the frog to send another frog. As we banish a frog for our Ronin Totem play, we're going to now make a Sprite Sprin. Sprin could send a blue, which could be reborn with the Elf. So the Gigantic Sprite gave us access to the Swap Frog, and the Sprin gave us access to the Sprite Blue and Elf. So we did not have to choose one over the other. Very well done. Top tier Sprite plays. Masquerena is here to link off during the opponent's turn, probably into an Avramax. We're now going to be summoning our Ronin Totem into a Melfi Forest. Beautiful. This is just very, very well done. And we are going to, on top of that, have a red negate. Let's talk about this field, and then we're going to pass it on over to tier limit. What this field entails is we have a monster negate. We could link off into an Avramax, which will protect all our monsters from being attacked into and being indestructible and untargetable, nearly unstoppable against a tier limit deck unless they use the Triple Tactics talent to take control of it. The Caddy's going to be able to make a Herald of Arc Light, but not in direct chain to you trying to send a card from the deck to the graveyard. Otherwise, the Herald of Arc Light will be an Omni Negate, and anything that is a monster sent from the hand or deck to the graveyard will be banished instead. The Cross will be able to steal a monster from the field or graveyard and attach it as an Exceed material. Let's go. Mudora, discarding Kelbeck. That is a really strong opener for going second. Caddy going to be searching for the penny, but getting completely negated unless the red negates or the Call by the Grave. We're going to use red, holding on to our Call by the Grave, and we're going to call by the Kelbeck also to stop the mill 5. This is very well done for our Sprite player. Now I'm going to be highlighting a nuance here, which was so well done from Pariah, and that is he did not wait for Kelbeck to activate. If you wait for Kelbeck to activate, then you called by, guess what happens? The Mudora shuffles it back in the deck, and then you mill 5, and then you lose to a bunch of tier limits being milled. So, wow. That was a very good call by on the cost, not with it activating. So, very good. Perfectly done. Returning back, we now got Penny, which is going to be able to make the Herald of Arc Light, which will be small, but will be protected by the Masquerina. Shokan, and just like that, if a monster is sent from the hand or deck to the graveyard, it will be banished, and we can negate anything by tributing ourselves. The Elf is going to be responded to by the Druid Swarm, banishing the Jet that we tried to summon for a follow-up play next turn. Wait, how did this happen? How are we in the battle phase? Masquerina, hello? Where is the Avramax? You know he's got TTT or something, but didn't you already play in a TTT? I mean, this is all during the main phase. What happened? What happened? Why? I'm trying to think, like, what happened? Why? How did we not Avramax? Okay, we're gonna forget about that. We'll draw 2. Magna Hunt, banishing the blue, come forth and summon, activating to search for a dragon during the end phase, which will be another Bestial. And now we got Beatrice, which can send from the deck to the grave any card we want, which will be a Sulik, which will search for a Rhino Heart, which we haven't even committed to a normal summon yet. On summon, we're going to send Hovness. Hovness is going to fusion summon, and we're going to steal the Rhino Heart. Why not steal the Hovness? I target a monster on the field or in the graveyard. So you target the Hovness in the grave, and then you place the targeted monster to your Link 2 and take control of it. Special summon the targeted monster of the graveyard to where your Link 2 is pointing to. Wait, the Mudora would stop it, but then he still doesn't fuse. Mudora shuffles the Hovness back in the deck, and then there's no fusion summon. So you're forcing him to Mudora, and then he gets no fusion in the end, right? Playing around Zeus. Okay, he just doesn't want him to rank 4 Exceed. Is that what you are saying he's worried about? It is main phase 2. Did he battle into an Exceed? Did that happen? I don't think that the Exceed was battled into. And we could still rank 4 Exceed anyway. I mean, I'm going to do it anyway. You can't stop me from doing it because I'm going to do it anyway. Baguska. All right. Beatrice. Now, Beatrice is the effect. So what is going to happen here is you're going to detach a material. The effect is going to be to send. Your own Baguska will negate your Beatrice. Your Suliak is dead. Everything that can go into defense is stuck in defense and is negated. We're going to be banishing Masquerina. Red can't negate the Druid Swarm right now because of the Baguska. This is a wild game 3. Making Avramax, it is targetable. It can be negated by the Suliak, but there's no tier limit on the field. Not yet, but the Beatrice can ensure that there will be a tier limit on the field by sending a tier limit to fuse with. End the turn. During the end phase, this is it. Ash, negate. You can get Kelbeck's now. Kelbeck onto your Crusadia. Okay, let me correction. Avramax can be targeted. These duels are very quick, so I'm trying to keep up and also give good information. Avramax is untargetable, but is destructible by card effect. So it cannot be negated, but we could Kelbeck spin back the elf right now, if we want to. Do we want to do that? We do not. Okay. Alrighty. We are going... Wow, did that work out? We just knew we were going to rip into a Keldo. Keldo, discard Kelbeck. Mudora, chain to the elf, spin back into the deck, so you're not going to be able to summon. Let's go, let's go. No, I like it fast. We got to keep it fast or I lose interest. Elf, nothing to reborn. Come forth and summon, searching for the Agido. Activate to mill 5. We are going to not be triggering anything besides our own Agido to then reborn the Kelbeck from the graveyard to bring 4 Exceed into the Time Thief Redoer. We just battling. We battling. We're going Zeus. We Zeus and we sacrifice the Beatrice. Thus, we met the requirement for Zeus. And then we drop that big fat Zeus into main phase 2, sacrificing our entire field to just deal with the Avermax. It's time. Zeus! Zeus can now wipe the field, getting rid of the untargetable Avermax that gets boosted by any special summon monster it battles into. Now, the Avermax has the other effect of when it's dealt with, it's going to spin a card your opponent controls back in the deck. But we have Sulliek searching for Rhino with an open normal summon. We're fine. We are more than fine. We're in a top deck situation for Sprite. And would you like to give Sprite any card they want? What could be any card they want? Like a Sprite starter, is that what they need? What, like a Beaver, a starter? I think Beaver is out of the equation here. We went through all 3. Kid Calso and Merly, we're gonna mill 8. I don't think there's really anything we could top. You're giving Sprite a Maxi on the top of the deck. Okay, that would be very helpful. Sprin could send a Merly from the deck to the graveyard, triggering our fusion. Shokan, get fusing, get returning. We now have Rukal, which would negate a starter rip. The Crime is dead unless we have a monster in our hand. So we're going to banish 7 to summon our Snow. Yes, Snow's here. Just what we needed. Carrot off the top of the deck, passing back to Got Key. It's time. It just like that. It is lethal damage with the Sprind. All right. All right. All right. Good job to both of you. The Sprind could not be linked with the turn it is summoned. Otherwise, I think maybe we would be trying to be doing something with that to then resummon the Snow back on the field. All right. Good job. And that settles it. Tearlament is the definitive better deck, right? Are you satisfied with that answer? Tier is officially better. All right. Let's get to it.